minute since my last video, but it's been a busy year and a bit. We've had a baby boy, Arthur. We've grown the house, built an extension on the side. We've got another house around the corner for the in-law. So they've officially moved in a few months ago. So now bringing all the family together. So we've had a lot of time out just to kind of enjoy the family, enjoy how everything's going, and yeah, so everything's been on hold a little bit, but that doesn't mean it's stopped. It's still going, and in the meantime I've managed to purchase a lot of kit to make sure that we get everything built and get everything going from now. So I'll show you around. We've got some new toolkits, got a bit sandblaster. I've got a compressor up in the loft space there, that's running up there. And then, of course, new toolkit. Fridge with necessities, we've had a party this weekend, so why not? And then I've separated everything into totes, bins, what we're needing. So the frame is all pretty much there, still need to do the electrical tray. The cowl / seat pan, I'm going to do a wee bit more to this. So start to shape this in, and I'm going to shape it around the edges there as well, just so we have that curved or dip finish for when the seat goes on, or we might make the seat. This all needs cleaning up and sorting out, but that's no worries. Obviously the original cowl, cut that, widened it just to match that profile, and we'll be able to keep because we're using the original one, it keeps these nice edges exactly where I want them. So that's just going to be a lot of cosmetic stuff. But engine's ready to go there as well. What I want to do with that is get that, I know it's stripping it down, but I want to get stripped and painted again over the next couple of days. And then I'll go through that one. I'll go through as I do it, the colour code and things like that, but that's where we are. As you can see, I've no longer got the 7, I've now got the 9. It runs really well. It's pretty much exactly the same, to be fair, apart from more than quarter throttle. It's very different. But yeah, let's do what you want to see and get the show back on the road. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go black on the bottom, silver here, black fins sanded, so the chrome on the end, and then black engine casing. Basically the block, when it's been vapor blasted, it looks lovely, yes, but there's some weld marks where I've welded where I've had the frame welded there, like the mounting points, and some other bits here that I'm not really happy with. So because the frame is so open, I want you to be able to look at the bike, look at the engine and go, just wow, that wants to be that's what I want. So from that, I think it needs painting. So I've got the paint prepared, got some degreaser, I've got some cleaner, I've got some acid based, some water based, and then finish it off with a blowtorch to make sure it's just as clean as possible before we paint it. But let's get this, let's get it ready. Some of you might notice something straight away. This is a surprise to come later. Bearing back a day and already made a mess. It's garage life. You can see here kind of where I'm in for the welds that I kind of want to paint over, just to take away some of just to make it more aesthetically pleasing, to be fair, where I've had to grind it down and clean up all the weld parts and everything. This mount was completely off, and then I've got one of my mates from the place I used to work, Gary, done a mint job of getting that done. He actually machined part there, put it on just to kind of make it resemble the other side there, and it works. He's done a great job. So that's something I would love, to be fair, an AC/DC welder for the garage. I would just love one because I would want to do some fabrication work. The welder that I've got at the moment just doesn't do it, but we make do with what we've got. We have to. So it is what it is. That's my friend. It's turned out lovely. Things, and then now that's out, we can just lift and move. Let's get these top bearings out the way. Remember, these haven't even been ran yet, so these are all good. Now we're apart, we're fully disassembled. Should be able to just get all this, get it all cleaned up, and then get it all ready for paint. Let's do this outside. So I've kind of got everything laid out here. I'm gonna get everything that I'm gonna get painted on this side. I've got some degreaser here. Need to spray some high strength degreaser on a lot of things at the moment first. Get them cleaned off, get them through the water-based degreaser, get all of the oil out of the aluminium, anything that's been porous and built in, and then go from there and prep. So now, in terms of getting everything ready for painting, I've got everything cleaned down the best I possibly can, manually. Got the paint ready to go. Move that a little bit further because I want to keep it in the sun to warm it up a wee bit. But these all came out great. But what I've done is, on the gas barbie, I've got that heating up, and I'm going to get this cooking. Just make sure I get all the grease off. I want everything burnt off, everything good, and everything ready to go again soon. I know obviously the bearings and stuff are in there. I'm not worried about them because they're going to get covered over, and then, well, they're internal anyway, so they're going to be fine. None of them are rubber. I've got the next set to go on, and then after that I'll get the small pieces done, probably all in one batch. But hopefully that will get it done perfect so we don't have any issues after paint. Whoosh. Nice. So you can see there, these would have been all the imperfections in the paint. But now I've got them all burnt off. You can clean that down a little bit more. And then what we have is exactly what we want to work with. So I've got the first one cooled down, not cooled down enough to paint, all masked off, exactly where I want it to be. And a couple of sponges in these thread holes. Wish I had some more earplugs, but I don't. Put a couple in there, and then we'll get painting. Perfect. Perfect. I like that. Really happy with that. Well, because this one's so bad, I'm going to put this one in the shot blaster. Problem is it's only small, I don't think there'll be enough room for you guys to see, but I'll sit the phone on top of there and hopefully it'll get it. I haven't really cleaned it out for the dust or anything, so I'll just see how it goes. Right, first time using this, let's see how it goes. Downside better than what we were. Yeah, I'll paint up nice now. Good. Good little run. Basically washing everything in acetone just to clean it beforehand. Did the same with the engine there, I just forgot to put it on, so I'll give you a quick overview. This one's still a bit warm from the barbecue, but that needs another clean, and then another cook, then another clean to another cook until it comes out well, like that one did. So I'm going to start with a couple of the black ones. I've got these ones to do. Why is that can of bean shaking? Tried everything with these heads and I cannot get them clean. Definitely not clean enough for paint. I'm gonna probably have to go around with the wire brush on the Dremel and get into all the little nook and crannies, but that's gonna take us hours. But I only have to do it once. What I can do, all these high spots on the casting marks, where it goes down there, I'll probably end up getting rid of them before I do it, and then have everything clean and smooth. That's another option. So we're on day 2 now of getting this engine painted and prepped. We've got quite a bit done. Really happy with how a lot of these parts are turning out. Really happy. The one that I'm having trouble with, of course, is the head. We've got a lot of parts that it's just not cleaning up very good. Be able to get a lot of this with acetone. Give it an acetone bath, and I think she'll be able to clean up quite well in a lot of places. But what I'm not happy about is these casting marks. They're really prominent on this one, on the fins. So I want to kind of grind these ones smooth, just so the paint adheres correctly, basically, and we haven't got any sharp edges for it to chip. So I'll get these ones done. I have got some new stainless steel studs as well, so these will end up coming out and getting drilled, which is fine. It's an easy one. I've done it for every bike. I'll just have some larger ones. I think these are M6. I've got some M8s, and it just, the seat much better. But yeah, I'm gonna get this one cleaned out, and let's get these edges done up nice. So I've attached the blast gun to the bag, and I'm just going to go to town on this. Right, so now everything's all cleaned up, everything's pretty much ready to go. We've got this here to assemble, so hopefully for the last time. So we'll get everything blown out, cleaned out, everything like that as we go. But yeah, let's get rocking. sticky stuff, this.
What's the best possible chance? I'm not confident that the cards are done properly yet, so we'll probably be turning over a wee bit.
So with some high temp black RTV, don't want it to leak out. I did get a little tool for this from the old AliExpress. Let's give it a try. Slot this. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I'm going to knock this up straight away. Right, I want to slot this down here. Hold on to the back end of it. And then close that over. And apparently, when I start squeezing this will pull that back. It should come up. Nice clean edge. Oh, it's actually quite good. Right, I might do that. Oh, it's still coming, it's still coming, it's still coming. Right, okay, let's go. New chains, everything's lining up fine. Oil seals. Oil seals. Chain, it's all good. Chain's lining up nicely. The image that you see, nice little ring around there. Oh, it's lovely, that's satisfying. I'm happy to see that. Yes. Oh. So bad news there, I had to stop the video a couple of times. Basically, I've ordered them bolts that I ordered are not the right size. So it's this one here, I ordered these ones from TSS Fasteners. The one from the other guy was for all the casings and stuff like that. But this one, TSS Fasteners, we look exactly where they are. They're on about 4mm too big. Every single one is 4mm too big. Now, I've called them up, no answer, left a voicemail. The guy at the other place went through absolutely everything with us. He tried to help us out with all sorts, he tried to fix everything. A guy called Mark at Stig Fasteners was absolutely great. But unfortunately the other guys just aren't answering, so I'm not getting an answer whether we can get this fixed or not. What I'm going to have to do, because I put the RTV and put everything in, I'm just going to have to put the bolts in. It's not what I wanted, but you can't see these from the bottom anyway, to be fair, so let's just rock and roll. So now the oil pump and everything's all in. These are all pressed in. These nuts are torqued up and that's pressed on. Just put the gasket on from this side for the sump. And now we'll start getting some stuff lined up and done. It's cleaned up really nicely. A new sump plug ordered as well, just to keep everything in the nice clean mode. Right, so I've got things kind of working out. Got the head on there, that's just cooling down because I had the cylinders in the fridge and the head in the cylinders. I had the cylinders in the fridge and the cylinder in the oven, so heated up. So got that on. Then we're just resting and cooling down. But while they're doing that, I'm just going to put the clutch back on, full clutch assembly. So let's get rocking with that. Let's get you a better angle so you can see which piece is one after the other, just in case anybody needs it. Before we do that, leftover birthday. It was Arthur's birthday on Friday and it was mine yesterday. So why not? So you go for the washer, corned washer, that faces inside, that faces in. And then this is central anyway, so it doesn't matter which way you have that. Both got rounded faces, but yeah, it doesn't matter which. So this is centralized anyway, which brings it into there. So that means it can go through, lubricate the inside of that, and this one will keep pushing it out. I've put some assembly lube on them bearings as well, just to keep everything going nice. Come here, let's put that in. So now I'm just going to put that up in there, which is already done. I know it's already oiled, but I just want to make sure that's got enough there. I'm being captain cautious on this one. So then we've got our washer, and then we go clutch unit, other washer, and then we have the lock nut. So this lock nut is designed, it's obviously a new one, but it's designed so when you squeeze it, you put it on, and then you squeeze it together over this side, and that just basically locks it in place. So I didn't realise at this point my battery actually went dead, but what we're doing here is we're tightening the nut down to the correct torque. How we do that is we use the clutch holding tool to hold the outer and the inner side together, and then we can tighten that down to the correct torque. And then we'd use the clutch plates, friction plates, metal plates, one in sequence after the other, and then tighten down the 5 bolts from the outer clutch housing after. So I've got the gasket down on the gasket paper. What I like to do is I always do spray copper glass gasket, with the high spray a gasket, the copper one. I've never had a problem with seals. I do it for all sorts, especially with these kind of head gaskets and other gaskets as well. It just works because we're not using the multi-layered stuff. I just find it works anyway. Some people might have a different opinion, but I've never had an issue with it. So all good. Right, the surprise. Boom. Some of you might have noticed that cylinder head is not the same cylinder head we had before. It's actually off at 550 because these are flat topped 1mm oversized pistons from IMD Pistons. He has absolutely done the job. Yeah, so all these use the same bottom end, and the top end is 550. So with the bottom end, all we do is use the crank and everything from the other side, which I'll show you later. But right now, I've got some good stuff happening. Some very good stuff. I'm actually really excited about it. I haven't just been off, I've been working. So what I'm gonna have to do, let's get the little clips out for each one. And then do these beautifully fiddly little things. Yes. First one done. So I guess it's time to sand these fins down to get them where we want them. But first, clean that off. Nice, got the file the way we want it. Let's get the sandpaper out. This is always tedious. turned out okay. Same on the other side. I'm going to get these valves lapped on this head. So the deal with this is you spin it and it goes backwards and forwards and up and down. So for the drill attachment, let's get the drill out. See it in there, backwards and forwards with my fingers. So what I had is I've got everything still stored in these boxes. Been really handy. So I'll just go back to where we were. At least clean down with a little brush, and then get lapping. So it's came up absolutely lovely. And then same there. Perfect. First run done. Let's keep it going. There as well. Not too bad. Here we haven't got much going on there. We get a little bit of the fine paste. I'm gonna go around here. Just on the inside. Knock off the excess. Lovely. So, look at it. Once you can see that one going. Hold the tool. Well, there were some tricky ones, but them are absolutely perfect now. And the corresponding ones with it as well. So yeah, this worked out pretty well. So we'll just get this assembled. Need to get this cleaned down properly now, get rid of all the paste first. Right, so I've got the clutch cover on. Clutch is all assembled. I've got the cylinders on, head gaskets ready to go as well. I want to build these up now. I've done them all. We've got new valve seals in. Just going to crack on and get it done really. Right, so what I've done is I've got a battery hooked up to the starter motor here, so I just need to connect the ground to here and then get that going. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just turning the motor over to make sure the oil pump's working. So I've checked it here, I've checked it at the top here to make sure that it's coming out as well and cleaned it up a bit. Now I need to turn it over and just make sure it's coming from these points, all four up here, and then coming back down through there and then coming out of these and then heading back down towards the sump so it gets recirculated. Just want to check to see all the oil flows there before I put these cams on. Yeah, so I've got the chain hooked up, got some tension on here. Just want to spin the starter motor and get some get some oil coming up. I want to see it come out these valleys here, so let's rock and roll. Oh, got some up there. Got some there. Right, so we're getting some here. Got these two off. Got it the other side. Coming from the top now as well. good. So come from these two here, get these off. Keep going, keep going. I need all four. We've got all four. See the parts going up there. Yes. Whew. Perfect. So I'm coming out of here first, put the pressure up and brought it back to there, and then came here and brought it back to there, which is good. Even cycle all the way around, it means we're getting oil flow throughout the whole engine. It's going to drop down here and then come back, and then it'll get recycled and recirculated through the filter and the pump. So yeah, we're ready to just put the rest on. So now I've confirmed that everything's flown where we want it to be, and I'm comfortable with that. I've got some new bolt kits here as well, just to make these a little bit more aesthetically pleasing with some domed bolts. So I'll get this head bolted down and torqued down, and then we'll work on to getting the cams on and then getting the timing done. So what we've got here, I've got a new magnetic sump bolt. I've got some washers for the head. I've got a new sight glass as well for the clutch cover. So just think that one's going to look a lot better. And then I've got the domed stainless steel nuts here as well, just to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So we've got 16.5 foot-pounds of torque here. I'm going to nip these up about halfway, over them twice, just to nip them and then get them further down. What I like to do as well is, after we've brought everything down, that's cleared the head gasket. These were tight before, so we nipped everything up, and as you can see, we're loose again as it's crushed the gasket. So just go around, nip them up, and then I like to do there'll be a torque setting for them, but I like to just do a quarter of a turn over on these ones. Then we know we're done. So what I'm going to do is line up these timing marks. So I want the points to be exactly where we are there, straight on the point. So we have multiple points here. So with this one, you can see it says Z4, and that's the 400. You've got the Z5 and Z5 in. So Z5 in is the intake on the 550. Which is what this one now is. So before it would have been intake on the 4, which was from up here. Now we're going to intake from the 550, as our head is obviously a different size. So get my chain back out, and then what we want to do is have this from this side, and then the line marking and matching with here. We'll get it in a short time and match the chain points with it, that's about where we want to be. So the exhaust, I've marked them as well. So the exhaust, I've marked it the same. EX for exhaust, Z5 from this side. That's how we kind of know it's the same from the 4 as it is the 5. And now we can see the points on the outside here. But what we also want to do is when we get these bolted down is measure how many of these points on the chain to this, from this point to this point. But we'll do that. So you can see as well, remember when we do clamp these down, we'll clamp them down and measure. When we do clamp these down and put these in place, once we measure the teeth round, they are numbered. So I'll just go around to the other side so you can see. Always go from intake to exhaust because they also have a direction arrow. And you can see from here, got 1, I'll see if I can zoom it in there. 1, 2, which corresponds with 1, 2. That should go, yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're all numbered on the inside, exactly where they are there. So just make sure you put that one along as well. Right, so now the points are right at the bottom side. We've got the exhaust pretty much lined up where we want it to be. And what I want to do is count 44 teeth back to that point there, making sure that that meets in the middle of 2. The chains. So we can see how this one here is separated by the 2 of them there. What I want to do is make sure that this one here, this one over here, sorry, matches in the middle of 1. And then that'll count out 44 back. So what I'm going to do, as I clamp these down, I'm just going to use a screwdriver rather than an impact or anything like that. So I just use electric screwdriver to go down. You can just use a ratchet, but what I want to do is bring them down evenly, just to make sure it is smooth and clean as possible. Right there, so you can see one goes through and then the other just sits through nicely, so it's like just evening it down, nice and even across. Just put on a really low torque setting as well if you can do. So that gets us our first alignment, so that lines with the head there. Now what I want to do is count 44 teeth back, that being the first tooth. One that matches with the exhaust side. So, where's my pen? So I want to count 44 teeth back to know exactly where this one is going to sit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 17. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, sorry, 44 teeth it should be. So the 43rd and the 44th should sit between that line. So realistically, I want the 43rd and 44th to be on that cog. So that shows that we need to move it by 1. So move that to there, and that means that then we've got the right spaces between them, and then the alignment gaps there, so I can clamp that down to that. And then I'll use the same clamping methods as well. But you're not just pushing these clamps down, you're actually you're pushing the shims down, which is pushing the valves down, like you see here, and then halfway down here, and that's your timing. So right now I've got that valve open, and then that one is closed, and then these are both closed. This one's about to open, so it's on a halfway position. This one is finishing a closed cycle as well, so yeah. So what I'll do now is put the chain tensioner on, and then put the chain tensioner on. Have we got an O-ring there? Yes, we have. So I'll put the chain tensioner on, and then we will put the top on. Because remember, it's just aluminium on aluminium. So, and I've cracked one before. So now the chain tension is on and everything's going. Let's give it a little bit of persuasion, a little bit of power. Again, I'm just going to turn this over with the starter motor. Yes, I know I put some strain on the starter motor, but there's no spark plugs in. We've got no real compression that's holding it back, so I'm not overly worried. That to me says that the oil's going everywhere we want it to. No, we're overflowing now. So let's get the head on. Let's get the spark plugs in to get some compression down. But I want to clean this all down now because I've covered it in oil before I put the head on. So the whole thing I want degreasing, quick once over, and then we've got an engine built. So now I've got the new bolts on. I've got the full head on. It needs a full clean up. You can see we've got some oil down here. I need to get some degreaser down there. What I've done is I've sealed everything off. So we've still got the breather hole there. So I need to put some rags in here, cover the breather hole. Rags obviously in the exhaust ports. Get it all cleaned down, and then yeah, on to the next step. So a bit of a rundown of where we are and what we've done. So stripped the full engine down, completely bare, baked it, degreased it, baked it again to make sure everything's all the contamination's out. Then done a full paint with different colour schemes, baked the paint on at 250 plus, and then rebuilt all the engine with all the components in. What I've also done is turned this from a 400, so from a KZ 400, and now with the new pistons and the cylinders match, we've got a 550. So we've also upgraded the full system as well. So with that paint, and it's got a nice little shine to it because I covered it in ACF 50, with that paint and with how that's gone right now, it's turning over with the new bolts and everything through. I can't tell you how pleased I am with the results. So next time I'm going to be getting all the wiring done. I'm going to get the exhausts from there. You probably noticed I put some new exhaust studs on as well. Got an M8 stainless steel. I've done all of them. And I'm going to get it running. Going to get it tuned. Carbs are down here. So I'm going to get it running. Going to get it tuned up for the 550. And then going to do all that while it's on here. So I can get it all tuned up, ready before we put it in the bike as well. But that engine, I'm absolutely chuffed with. So hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, ready for next time. And we're getting the spark, so I'm well chuffed for that. Well chuffed.